Mastering Leadership: An Integrated Framework for Breakthrough Performance and Extraordinary Business Results by Robert J. Anderson and William A. Adams. The Burdens and Possibilities of Leadership. Leadership comes with high expectations that 90% of leaders never achieve. But, if you accept the challenge of those expectations, you can make an enormous difference. Though exceedingly rare, excellent leaders create cultures that transform careers, inspire other leaders, increase organizational fortunes, and, sometimes, change the world. Great leaders develop over time by improving their ability to fulfill the 4 universal promises of leadership. Provide purpose and direction. Executives must articulate the why of their organizations. Salaries and benefits alone will not inspire employees to commit their energy and imagination to a firm. Make corporate goals meaningful to all. Employees must adopt a firm's objectives and take responsibility for achieving them. Link corporate goals with team and individual goals across the organizations. Manage with discipline. Purposeful goals matter only if you execute them. Give employees the resources and space they need. Resist distractions by focusing on achieving objectives. Identify and institute repeatable processes that earn results. Stay flexible to allow continual improvement. Led well leaders must commit to continuous development as individuals and as part of the leadership team. Leaders should improve their skills while holding themselves and others accountable. The organization cannot perform at a level higher than the collective effectiveness of its leadership. Build your credibility as a leader by listening to your employees, sharing information, telling the truth, and revealing your vulnerabilities. Resist quick opportunities for revenue at the expense of long-term goals. Encourage growth by rewarding risk-taking, even when it fails. Mind over matter. A constrained mindset limits your competency. Talent can't overcome negative psychology. You have the ability to evolve and to restructure your mind set for the challenges of leadership. This requires systems thinking, a holistic mindset that considers multiple interdependencies. No single leader can know or simultaneously consider all the parts of a system as complex as a modern organization. You need a team to design effective strategies and solutions. Most leadership teams operate at a lower level of intelligence than their average members. Inspire your leadership team to increase the complexity of its thinking to match or exceed that of your environment. The stages of adult development. This leadership development model is based on the adult stages of development identified by now retired Harvard professor Robert Kegan. The stages begin with a sense of self, an egocentric consciousness, followed by the reactive stage, and then the creative, integral, and unitive stages. Since the leadership challenges are formidable, it will take unprecedented collective effectiveness, intelligence, and wisdom to avert global calamity and create a thriving future for Earth's inhabitants. People gain wisdom and ability as they successfully navigate this ladder of adult consciousness. As leaders reach these various stages, their effectiveness increases. The mindset from which a leader or leadership team operates determines their competence. You can't advance to the next stage without shattering your previous sense of self. Hence the difficulty most people experience when trying to change as adults or as leaders. Leaders develop, if they develop, through a series of sequential stages, and these same stages exist in all cultures. They are, therefore, universal and invariant, built into human nature. Everyone develops along the same stages. Each successive stage changes you profoundly. You gain new abilities and can better handle the complexities of your environment. As you and other leaders transform, the leadership team evolves, allowing the organization to evolve as well. Leaders must surrender their egocentric identities, which is one reason the majority of change efforts fail at the organizational level. The egocentric stage. At about age 8, you operate entirely in pursuit of your own needs. Your independence grows. Other people don't matter. You don't consciously act this way, it feels normal. In your late teens, you transform to the next stage, or you don't. If you do, you painfully acknowledge that the world doesn't revolve around you and that to succeed in life, you must take responsibility for other people's needs as well. Most people graduate from the egocentric stage, some don't. Those who don't tend to spend their lives trying to dictate other people's behaviors. The reactive stage. As you shift from being self-centered, you adopt societal norms and abide by laws. You behave to gain acceptance. You acquire the skills and experience to hold a job, advance, attract a spouse, and build a home. You tend to identify with the strength of your relationships, being liked, your ability to do your job, getting results, or your intellectual prowess, having superior analytic ability. One of these three defines you in your mind. You see it as your strength and the reason for your success. You'll defend it vigorously and, therefore, you may blind yourself to improvements or alternatives. The development of leadership effectiveness must, at a minimum, keep pace with the rate of change and the rate of escalating complexity. By the time leaders evolve to the integral stage, their leadership is likely to be extraordinarily effective, if not masterful. Organizational change happens only with individual and collective leadership change. You don't change the culture, because you constitute the culture. You must change yourself first. Reactive stage leaders cannot produce creative stage cultures. Reactive leaders emphasize and identify with one of three skills. They either lead with relationships, giving up influence to make sure everyone likes them, or they lead with force, or they lead intellectually by sitting on the fence and offering advice. Each tactic severely limits a leader's effectiveness. Over time, leaders convert the skill with which they most identity into a liability, not a strength. Those who lead with force tend to rise into senior leadership, and those who need love tend to follow. This reinforces a paternalistic culture. Even when the firm seeks change, the established patterns stymie transformation. The creative stage. When you stop basing your identity on what society, family, and employers think or expect of you and pursue your own values, interests, and motivators, you transform to a creative consciousness or mindset. As you come to appreciate your own inner drives, you'll better appreciate others and become a more collaborative leader. The 15% of organizations that reach the creative stage correlate with organizational success and performance. The creative stage drives collaborative leadership that sets a vision and inspires employees to achieve it. Creative leaders invest in employee development and value a broad range of input into decision-making. This results in a highly engaged organization. When we try to change the system, we run smack into ourselves. We are the primary obstacle to the very future we are committed to creating. Only 1/5 of adults succeed in moving beyond the reactive stage. Mythology calls this transition the hero's journey. You must kill your past identity to move on. Change of this magnitude is frightening. To make it, you must push past fear. You either reach the creative stage or never realize your purpose or potential. To evolve to the creative stage, discover and embrace your purpose. Then see your fears as obstacles to overcome. Accept your need to metaphorically die in order to grow. Follow these interdependent 6 practices. Discerning purpose. Watch for signs of your purpose, things that make you come alive, that you must do. You don't choose your purpose. You find and follow it without compromise. Find the intersection of your purpose and your organization's needs. Distilling vision from your purpose, create a vision. Make your vision sufficiently meaningful and specific to measure and to drive your strategy and goals. Make it inspirational so others will integrate it with their purpose and vision. Know your doubts and fears. Pursuing your vision throughout your life may make you uncomfortable and unsettled. It demands risk. Know and manage your fear so you don't revert to reactive behaviors in the face of fear, confrontation, or stress. Engage in authentic, curious dialogue. A firm must combine truth and bravery to achieve a creative stage culture. As a leader, say what you think and mean. Creative leadership teams and organizations demand candor and courage. Develop intuition, open to inspiration. Look for and follow data and evidence, listen to your gut, and stay open to inspired breakthroughs that arise after you've thought long and hard about a problem. Think systemically. You appreciate the interconnectedness and interdependencies of all things. You see the big picture. You face tremendous resistance when you restructure your organization to align with your vision. You can't know what systems or structure will carry you, so rely on instinct. This leap takes time, practice, and courage. The integral stage. Evolving to the most mature phases of the creative stage makes integration possible, and brings personal and leadership rewards to the 1 in 20 leaders who achieves it. Here, you acknowledge your complexity and diversity, that many personalities and traits inhabit you, as they do everyone. The same holds for your organization. You see and accept good and bad, with no need to fix yourself. You appreciate that you lead a complex and interconnected system that you alone can't resolve. You embrace diversity and inclusion. Your peers, employees, and stakeholders become your partners. You hold various and even competing ideas and perspectives in your mind. You listen to, consider, and extract value from diverse viewpoints. You manage complexity and ambiguity. You see entire systems and your place within them. You learn that you share more similarities with your so-called enemies than differences. As you reconcile your internal demons, you will see the path to reconciliation with those enemies. The unitive stage. Very few people navigate to unity, in which they realize that no self exists in body or in mind. They see that everyone and everything combines into a oneness. Here, leaders evolve beyond corporate concerns to seek global spiritual transformation. Unitive leaders, though rare, can alter humanity. Your next stage. The most effective leaders function in the creative stage or beyond, in the integral stage. The top 10% best performing firms boast leadership teams in which 80% or more of the members operate in the creative stage or higher. Bottom 10% firms average 30% creative and 70% reactive leaders. Learn your stage. Note how you contribute to or detract from building a creative culture. Set out to improve. If you get results from the reactive stage of controlling, aim to move toward achievement, the creative equivalent. If you comply to remain liked, move toward relationships, also a creative equivalent. In the first instance, you morph from driving results through command and control to achieving them through coaching, empowerment, and accountability. In the latter, you move from a need to please to building relationships that spring from trust, truth, and candor. There is no safe way to be great, and there is no great way to be safe. The Leadership Circle self-assessment shows you what to focus on first. It builds on your strengths as you mature from stage to stage. Takeaways. Organizations cannot perform better than their collective leaders. Leadership teams usually possess a lower IQ than the average leader on the team. Leadership teams can improve and organizations can transform only when individual leaders evolve to higher levels of consciousness. About 75% of leadership teams operate at the reactive stage of development. They say the right things, but guard their decision-making and fail to engage. Only 15% evolve to the creative stage. They listen, grant autonomy, and invest in employees, vastly outperforming reactive stage firms. Just 5% get to the integral stage, in which leaders embrace and leverage diversity, grasp the big picture and its complexities, and sharpen their intuition. In the final stage of consciousness, unity, you realize the oneness of the universe. Perhaps only prophets reach this stage. To thrive in today's environment, firms must reach at least the creative stage. Masterful leaders and leadership teams operate at the integral level. Change and growth are difficult, since transformation requires killing your old self. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.